Concerned group in the education sector has called on stakeholders, government and parents to be vigilant of excessive and illegal levies in the context of exam ethics campaign but aiding exam malpractices in the country. It will be recalled that exam malpractices is not a new trend within the education sector. According to Ike Onyechere, founding Exam Ethics Marshals International, during an interaction with newsmen, said these illegal fees are structured in various ways and under various names and forms, which are usually over and over stipulated fee by exam boards. He said it was high time parents start to be aware of the dangers of these illegal levies on the future of their children, as these levies are geared towards aiding and abating exam malpractices in schools. Ike Onyechere set an example of the ongoing registration WAEC and NECO exams, which is 27,000 naira and 22,500 respectively. But Exams Ethics Marshal investigation indicates that secondary schools across the country are charging an average of 85,000 naira for the two exams. Some schools go further to add 25,000 naira logistic levy to help the student pass.
Would be appropriate. So we're trying to focus attention on it, especially on the dangers of these levies, because it appears that it has not been properly connected to some of the problems we are having in education in this country. So our attention is to focus on it and also to look at the responsibility of curbing it, especially when it comes to the parents that are paying these levies. So let's just start by looking at the levies generally. Levies in schools, sometimes we can say they are normal things and so on and so forth. But we now have a situation where it has become preponderant. There are all sorts of levies that are enacted under all sorts of names. It depends on who is making the levy. It depends on the creativity and so on and so forth. But let us also start from the point that levies are not necessarily bad. They're not necessarily bad because education has to be funded and so, but they become a problem when they deviate from that focus. There are legal levies. For example, it is expected that by the beginning of the session, a school should have been notified the parents, on what should be paid for that session, whether it's by fees and so on, and we have to make additional levies and so on. Those levies, should be authorized by the appropriate authorities. But when these positions are not done, and you find a situation where some people come together and begin to enact these levies, not necessarily for the interest of the child, but for pecuniary interests of those who are organizing it.
The ethics therefore called on parents to be vigilant of these illegal fees, as it is detrimental to the credibility of the nation's future, personality and competencies of children involved in these criminal vices.
Because when the educational process becomes criminalized, it affects every other thing. And it's just like I predicted some years ago, precisely on May 27, 1996, when the examination process started, when the exam malpractice started becoming and the issue becoming operated by a criminal syndicate. So, and I said then that if we allow the education system to continue to be criminalized by having this syndicate of criminals taking over the system, what it means that education will become corrupt, as it has. Then when you corrupt the education system, you corrupt every sector, because education is the source code for the human resources of every sector. And so you end up having a situation where each and every sector of society is corrupt. Anywhere you look, from religious to education to judiciary to public service to wherever you look, it is there. And I said, when you get to that level, it will be very difficult to fight corruption.